In the previous part of the lab, we set up log ingestion on a Windows system where we injected Windows event logs and sysmon logs. So what we're going to do now is shift gears a little bit, and we're going to ingest logs from our Linux server. So we're going to be ingesting syslog data. So we'll move back to our Splunk dashboard, and once again, I am logged into the Splunk from my host on a browser. You can do the same, or you could use the browser that's on your Windows VM. I just find it a little bit easier to do it from a browser that's not part of our lab environment. So once you're logged in to Splunk, we'll go to Settings, and we're going to select Data Inputs. So from Data Inputs, then we're going to select UDP. And you see right now we don't have any data inputs from UDP, so we'll select New Local UDP. And we're going to do this. We're going to make sure that UDP is highlighted, and then we're going to use port 1514. So once you've done that, then we can go ahead and select Next. And now we want to select our source type. So the source type that we're going to use, as I mentioned before, is syslog. So you could scroll through, try to find it. I find it easiest just to start typing it. And you see on the drop down, we see syslog. So we'll go ahead and select that as the source type, and then we'll move down to the index. So for the index for our Linux logs, I'm going to use main as the index. Once that is done, we can go ahead and select review. So basically all we did was set up on a UDP port number 1514, and it's going to ingest syslog. So then we go ahead and click next, and we can start searching. And we see immediately we're already getting logs. And once again, these logs are from the Linux server that we have Splunk running on. So what we've done so far is we've installed the index, and we have logs being ingested now into Splunk from our Linux server. So what we're going to do next is we're just going to copy and paste from step 2 a command that will forward logs with our syslog, and the goal of this is just to create a realistic SIM pipeline. So I'm going to open up the terminal for the Linux server, and I'm SSH'd into the Linux server because that way I'm able to copy and paste and things. So it was just easier to try to keep that Linux server as lightweight as possible. We didn't add stuff like guest editions, which gives you the ability to copy and paste into it. So we just basically created the bare bones server, and then we can SSH into it. And in this case, I'm using PuTTY, and I'm already logged in. So the command I want to run is basically forward the logs from the local machine. That's why we're at IP address 127.0.0.1, and we're doing that over port 1514. And then it will restart our syslog. So we can confirm the status just by copying and pasting the command from step 3. And this is just checking the status of our syslog, and we see it is active and it is running. So everything seems to be in order. We can go ahead and end that, and I'm just going to clear the screen to give us more room. So now that we've confirmed that syslog is working, what we can do is generate some simple data. So I'm just copying and pasting from step 4. And once I run this, now all I did, as you see, is just typed CySA plus lab test. And now what we can do is go into Splunk, and we can copy and paste this SPL. And it's just looking for what we just typed in the terminal, CySA plus lab test. And once we search for it, there you see. So that just demonstrates that our log ingestion for Linux is working just as well as the log ingestion that we did in the first part of the lab for Windows.